How are you guys doing? Welcome back to the channel. As you see, we have a Vikings news video today because we have to talk about the Vikings. They just finalized their final head coaching additions for their coaching staff, and also Za'Darius Smith, the Packers outside linebacker and edge. Could he be joining the Vikings? And then we got to talk about Anthony Barr for a little bit today, see what the Minnesota Vikings are going to do with him. But seriously, thank you guys so much for the support on the channel. It really means a lot. Subscribe down below and comment down below. What do you guys think of these types of videos? How are you guys feeling about the Vikings? Subscribe. Best way to help me out. Really appreciate it. But let's get right into it. The Vikings finalized their almost entire coaching tree yesterday, and it brought some very interesting news with it. Starting off with Wes Philips, our newest offensive coordinator from the Los Angeles Rams. He's following Kevin O'Connell. He is the son of Wade Phillips, former NFL head coaching great. And this is just, he's 43 years old. This is one of those signings where if the Vikings have a successful season and Wes Philips and their offense looks really good, Wes Philips will have a coaching job in about a year or two. I mean, let's just say the Vikings going, you know, obviously I'm in La La Land. Let's just say they go make the NFC Championship. Wes Philips will be gone. It's kind of one of those things. He's another young, smart offensive mind. But then the Vikings, they also picked up Matt Daniels from the Rams. He was their assistant special teams coach. So Matt Daniels will be our full-time special teams coach. I thought the special teams was actually really good last year because the year before that with Dan Bailey, it was really bad. And then this past year with Greg Joseph and the punt group and Kene Wangu, I thought it was fantastic. So I'm guessing they're going to try to take another step forward next year with Matt Daniels. But here's the fun coaching hire. So Mike Smith, he was the outside linebackers coach for the Green Bay Packers. And Za'Darius Smith is apparently has very strong connection with him, kind of like how Danielle Hunter had with Andre Patterson. It's kind of one of those things where Za'Darius feels that Mike Smith has unlocked a part of his game that maybe another coach wouldn't unlock. And we just hired Mike Smith as our outside linebackers coach. Couple things. Za'Darius Smith, this opens up the door for him coming to the Vikings. And I think if we could add a guy like Za'Darius Smith, put him across from Danielle Hunter. I mean, if we just saw the Rams in the Super Bowl, Aaron Donald and Von Miller, if you could have Za'Darius Smith and Danielle Hunter coming off the edge, that's a pretty scary sight for NFC North teams. Obviously, that's a hypothetical, and we'll dive into that more in free agency. Talking about an in-house name for the Minnesota Vikings, though, is Anthony Barr. And I think hiring Mike Smith, it also affects Barr as well. I've always had this notion that Barr is a better edge than a linebacker. I just think with his body type, the new age NFL, he just looks like more of an edge to me than a true linebacker. I think he's moving laterally. Barr is not as fast as like a Roquan or Bobby Wagner, Kuechly, those type of guys. But if you're just talking about straight line speed coming off the edge, which the Vikings have never really tapped into, I think that's where he could be special. Now I got this fantasy vision in my head where it's Danielle Hunter coming off one edge, Za'Darius Smith coming off another, and then Anthony Barr blitzing off another, and you got 6'5", 250, three guys just flying at you. It's a pretty scary sight. And I think Anthony Barr, I would love to have Barr back. I think if they let him go and he goes somewhere and he could have like 10 sacks, I just have a feeling Barr is going to be an edge somewhere next year, and it's going to really make me mad because I've been pounding this table for about 2 years now saying Anthony Barr should be converted into more of a traditional edge and just pin your ears back, go get the quarterback, because he is that type of athlete. I think edges have to be elite athletes. He's got a little Micah in him. Micah's a little faster. Barr's a little more, he's got a little more grown man strength. Micah's obviously got unreal closing speed, but I think that's the type of role that we could see Anthony Barr kind of, I mean, he could flourish with this Mike Pettin defense and this Ed Donatell defense, which is why I really don't want to lose him. But also know money is a real thing, and if the Vikings were going to go get a Za'Darius Smith, it would be very hard to keep an Anthony Barr because the Vikings, they have to address the secondary somehow. They're going to need to do that eventually. I think they do it in the draft. I think the first-round pick will either be Derek Stingley or that Sauce Gardner guy from University of Cincinnati, which I would be very, very ecstatic with both. But I think they don't really have a lot of money to spend this year. So if they were going to go try and make a big splash name free agency buy in a Za'Darius Smith, that would most likely mean guys like Barr are gone. I just don't really know what direction they're going in. If Kwesi thinks he could get Barr on an in-house deal and he could get just the same production from Barr, that he would from Za'Darius Smith, that's a question to be asked. I would be all in on Za'Darius Smith. I think he's a proven edge, a proven veteran guy who, you know, he'll make a big-time play in a playoff game. Like, if the Vikings were in the playoffs and we had Za'Darius Smith on their team, I guarantee you he'll have a play on a third down where he'll go make a sack. He's got a very Von Miller-esque to him, and maybe he just wants to win a Super Bowl. Maybe he feels like the best opportunity is following his outside linebacking coach, Mike Smith, to Minnesota. All right, my final thoughts on the kind of recent news was I'm just proud of this organization. I mean, Kwesi has built an elite head coaching roster, and same with Kevin O'Connell. It's just everything that I wanted them to be doing for the past couple of years, they're finally doing. They're finally taking that step forward, being more progressive. Let me know what you guys think down below. If you guys want more of these videos where I cover different topics, Vikings news, anytime, anywhere, subscribe right down below. It really helps me a lot. Let's get to 2K. I think we're about like 30 subs away. See you guys next time. Skol Vikes.